on. If you guys want to call in, 773-928-9230. This part of the show is dedicated to health tips. We're going to focus a little more on the medical. We want to talk about diabetes today. And what are the ABCs of diabetes? Diabetes is a problem with the way your body regulates blood sugar or blood glucose. It's the same thing. If you are a diabetic, you need to go and get your test called the hemoglobin A1C. Has anybody heard of the hemoglobin A1C in here?
I've never heard of that test.
Okay, well, if you're diabetic, this is a word that should be going around the household. That's the most important test. It basically tells us the 3-month average of your blood sugar. So when you do the finger stick blood test, that tells you what your blood sugar is at that moment. But this hemoglobin A1C test tells you what it is for a 3-month period, and it lets the doctor know what medication you should be on, how to adjust your diet. So that's one thing I want to make sure everyone who's diabetic, or if someone in your family is diabetic, ask them, what is your hemoglobin A1C? B, the B of diabetes is blood pressure. So everyone who's diabetic, is very important to decrease your blood pressure because diabetes is a risk for having heart disease. So your blood pressure, if you have diabetes, should be less than 130/80. Again, that's 130/80. If you haven't had your blood pressure checked and you have diabetes, please come in because there are no symptoms for high blood pressure. That's why they call it the silent killer. So come on in, get checked out. The C of diabetes is cholesterol. So cholesterol for diabetes is supposed to be less than 200, your total cholesterol. Your LDL cholesterol should be less than 100. The LDL cholesterol is the bad cholesterol. That's the one that leads to heart disease and heart attacks. So those are the ABCs of diabetes. If you have a family member or if you have diabetes, ask them, what's your A1C? What's your most recent blood pressure? Have you had your cholesterol checked? Those are critical tests to help prevent heart disease. That's one of the most important things. Diabetes is a big risk factor for heart disease. I got a question for you.